Greetings and welcome, guys, gals, and non-binary pals, to episode 424 of the Words About Games podcast, the weekly gaming podcast for words about games. I'm one of your hosts, Amy Kate Alexander. I'm joined this week by the legendary American motorcycle himself. It's Daffin Moody.
Only diddly do, everybody. It's Friday, you know what that means. It's the holiest of days. It's video game day. And that's all that is important, is that it's video game day. How is everyone?
That's all that's important. Don't think about why he's holding his microphone in his hand. Like, it's the style now, though, to hold your microphone. I see it on like YouTube and when I was on TikTok, like people like have those tiny little microphones and they like hold them like this. And I'm just like, it's a clip-on microphone. Clip it. I could try and clip this. I can't concentrate on the thing that you're saying in the video because I'm just getting sent by the fact that you're holding a little microphone too close to your mouth. Move the microphone.
These are the same people who like to unalive things because apparently the word, the other word is too triggering for people.
It's like on TikTok, like I get it, like when they say unalive instead of kills, because like, you know, your video gets whatever and nobody sees it anymore. But like, don't bring that shit over here where that shit doesn't happen. Don't bring that shit into everyday vocabulary, is what I'm saying. And put your microphones on a stand. Moody's got an excuse. His stand's broke. You don't have an excuse. But we're also joined this week by the Quizmaster himself. Quizmaster or Quizmaestro?
Quizmaestro, I think.
Quizmaestro himself. It's Patel.
What's good, everybody? Yeah, the word master has an evil connotation to it in my ear, at least. Anyway, so yeah, let's go with Maestro.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer, right?
Exactly.
How you doing, Vitz?
Yeah, we're doing good. It's been a week. It tends to be.
That's true.
Living on this planet, at least. But yeah, we've survived. Video games are still video gaming, and the industry still seems to be doing industry things. But no, things are going okay. How are they with you?
Someone's breaking through my wall, apparently. So that's fun. But yeah, no, not bad. Not bad. Not really done that much, you know. Just chilled, relaxed. How about you, Moody? How's life outside of your microphone was?
The microphone was not bad at all. Outside of it, just cracking on, puttering on, basically, doing what obviously you need to do and everything. With my current situation, been playing some video games, which I will obviously talk about today and whatnot.
Yeah.
Interesting enough that I've played and finished the game that's one of Amy's most anticipated this year.
We've talked about that, all right? Like we have vouched for Boomerang Rattles on this podcast for years. And like just before we started recording, I'm like, they're getting cancelled out of sheer anger at the fact that they're not sending me any fucking thing anymore. I got Astro Bot, and it's like I didn't really want Astro Bot. I just had it because everybody else wanted it. I'm not a 3D platformer person.
You are not, that is true.
And then like Silent Hill and Metaphor, it's like, nah, I want to send you those. And I'm like, all right then, well, get in the bin. Like if I don't wake up tomorrow morning with an email saying Metaphor ReFantazio is coming to your house, I'm gonna be like, listen, Boomerang, we gotta have a very difficult talk. Let's go behind the shed a second.
No, didn't they kill
Yeah,
Jella in
other
the
things
shed?
happen behind the sheds. Places I went to.
I thought Jella got killed behind the shed.
No, in the shed.
All right, okay. What happened behind the shed?
We don't talk about that.
Behind the shed. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't talk about that.
Yeah, because I think on this podcast we've long advocated for getting rid of services that we are paying for that we don't get value out of. Like Xbox Game Pass is one that I think all three of us have cancelled off this year, and like PS Plus for me last year and things like that. So yeah, if you're not getting the value out of a service that you're paying for, then by all means, like they get a few chances to earn your trust.
Sure.
But then after that, you gotta put the ties in.
Like when they didn't send me Like a Dragon in January, I was like, you know what, that sucks, but I'm not that fussed about paying for Like a Dragon. It's not £70. It was cheaper than that. And I was like, I don't mind owning it. I own all of the other Like a Dragon games and Yakuza games anyway. So I was like, I'm just adding it to my collection, right? But like, this is like the 4th time. If you count these 2 times as separate times, this is like the 4th or 5th time. And I'm just like, look, man, you're supposed to be saving me money here.
For additional context, you're paying a premium in order to, in theory, get these games.
On day one. Like I'm paying for the priority package so that I can get the new releases on day one. And I, you know what? I don't expect to get every single new release on day one. That's totally acceptable. Like, I understand how the service works, but I'm getting very few releases, and I'm just like, so at this point, I'm like, I've paid my subscription fee for the month, and now I'm looking at paying for Metaphor, like, full price, because I'm like, I want to play this game. I played the demo, so that when the release day came, I was like, oh, I've done the thing. I wouldn't have played the demo otherwise.
You can transfer your
I can just keep going. We'll talk about that later. But now it's like, I'm gonna have to fork out. I forked out the subscription fee plus the money for the game because I don't want to wait. Like, yeah, I could be patient. I could wait. It's a long ass game. I'm gonna have to wait for people to complete it and send it back.
Plus, you're trying to rush this before Dragon Age.
Plus, I got Dragon Age at the end of the month. Like, I've made choices. I've committed to choices.
There's a strategy in play for sure. Yeah. So, Boomerang, you're done. I'm afraid.
I think you're done, man. Like, what the hell happened this week? Moody was like, "Oh, I've got Silent Hill 2 coming," and I was like, "I don't know what the fuck. It's fine. Top 10 game of all time. It's fine." I'm fine. I was like,
but you know what you said last week before the reviews came out. You said you still have the original, and that will do for you.
I was only gonna do that if the remake was bad. Everybody says the remake's good. Now I'm sad.
What that remake's like later on in this episode.
Yeah. So that's my challenge for this week. I'm not getting my games, and I'm mad about it.
The thing is about, like, for me, like, obviously I'm playing Astrobot right now as well, and like, my intention is to finish that, and then I'll be trading that in to, like, go and get something else. So, like, depending on what it is, like, I'll either go towards Pokemon games or I'll go towards maybe Dragon Age, the new Dragon Age when it comes out. Because I'll just be renting it. I won't be buying it digitally because it's just extortion.
But digital games are extortion. It's crazy.
Right now it is. Yeah, it's insane. Which we all knew was going to happen at the end of the day. But
that's it. They can do whatever they want.
Yeah, so I didn't buy Astrobot. Like, I had in-store credit for CEX for that, and thankfully, like, I got it for that. And so it's just like, I see it as a thing now where I just get the game, and unless it really connects to me, like games that I'm obviously recollecting and everything right now, I'll just trade it in and everything. So it's like, if I would move my camera, but I'm afraid to touch it.
Don't touch anything else.
Yeah, I broke this. So I know me. I'll break
holding
that.
everything.
Like, you can't see the rest of the list there, but there are other Pokemon games there that have come recently and everything. But it is a really weird one. For it, it's just like, it really just depends on what you're looking for and what you want at the end of the day. Like,
and I think the other thing is what works out financially best for you as well. So for me at the moment, it's buying a game, but obviously shopping around for the best retail price, and then trading it into somewhere like CEX. So I think Astrobot net costs me £19 all in, which I think is pretty damn good. And obviously, there's various different oral options in terms of being able to rent it and things. But then you're talking about having to get for a priority package and stuff, and then it may or may not come.
I mean, your net Astrobot spend was basically like, if I think about like paying for Boomerang rentals, and not getting Silent Hill, and not getting Metaphor sent to me, I basically paid my entire subscription fee to play Astrobot, which was probably about the same amount of money.
The game you at least hoping to get out of the other three.
Exactly.
Games.
But for those looking for Metaphor, like I believe it's on for £50 over at Amazon. However, I think the initial runner copies are no longer shipping over the weekend. So I think the earliest I can get to me at least is the 14th, which is the Monday. So depending on how desperately you want this game, you may need to shop elsewhere for slightly higher.
I'm probably going to double dip on this game because I want to buy. I'm going to buy it with my phone because it's the only way I can afford to buy it. So I'm going to end up buying it digitally, and then if I really like it, it's going in the collection.
You need to have a box.
I got to have that box. But we'll see if I really like it. Ooh, mysterious.
Quick question: the Horizon Lego game that's coming out soon, that's coming to PS5, isn't it?
Yeah, PS5 and Switch.
That's really
PS4
weird.
as well.
That's weird as hell. Because if I go on Boomerang, you can only get it on Switch. You can't get it on PS5. I'm going to have a look at PS4 now. It'll be funny if it's PS4. That's it's not even on PS4, so yeah, that's interesting.
PS5 doesn't have any games.
It doesn't. It doesn't now.
Switch and PC it's coming to as well.
But why would you buy any games when you can get a Nintendo alarm clock? That's my question.
Only $100.
Only $100. It's probably going to be cheap.
If we could have a little sidebar about this alarm clock.
Sure.
The thing that got me is that people were saying, well, it's really unhealthy to for your phone to be your alarm, and you're much better off getting an alarm clock. Now, I get the aspect of looking at your phone first thing is unhealthy because people are doom scrolling and all the rest of it. But if you've got a device bleeping at you to wake up in the morning, and you've got a device sitting on a bedside table in a clock shape bleeping at you to get up in the morning, I don't see how one is more evil than the other.
I get you. I hear you. Like, it doesn't matter. It's a clock at the end of the day. And these people who like doom scroll when they wake up, motherfuckers, you ain't doing sleep right. Let me tell you how it works. You set that alarm for right up to the point when you actually need to get out of bed.
Oh, so you don't have time to mess around.
You don't have time to mess around. You have to get up and go. That's my strategy. Right. That's what I do. Like, I mean, I have to set like 4 alarms to make sure I actually get up on time. But like,
so the other. Sorry, carry on.
I was gonna say that final alarm. That like, if I have to be out of bed and getting ready at say 8 o'clock, that final alarm's going off at 8 o'clock.
Right. So the other thing that was interesting about this Nintendo alarm clock thing is that it tracks your movements, kind of thing. So if you're rolling to side, you can pick up Mario coins and things like that. However, if you happen to be in bed with someone, say a partner or even a pet or anything like that, according to the FAQ, not so much.
Yeah,
it doesn't work if you're with anybody.
I did see people complaining about that. It was like, oh, you can't even like. So if you're married, you can't even have one of these things. And I was like, I looked at the clock, and I was like, it's for kids. It's a kids product.
That's Nintendo in general. That's the thing. People, for some reason, Nintendo fanboy adults out there think that when Nintendo released a product, that it's aimed at them. It's never aimed at them.
It says 18 on the box. It's not. It's not there.
Yeah.
It says 3 and up or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Can
I can't believe Princess Peach Showtime is so easy to play. It's like, it's a kid's game.
You fucking
for children to play.
They've stayed in their audience.
It'll be interesting to see if they manage to gamify the whole alarm clock business to say if you get up on the first alarm, then you can earn Nintendo points and earn money off games and things like that going forwards, or you'll have some form of currency. But I don't reckon they'll push it that far.
I mean, I'm a great sleeper.
See?
Like if I can monetize my sleep. Wow, perfect.
I mean, Amy, can I tell you about Pokemon Sleep?
What? That's the thing, right? Do you use the alarm clock or do you use Pokemon Sleep? Which one wins?
But apparently, if you touch your phone, like any time in the morning, then you will go straight to hell. So
I was going straight to hell anyway, so it doesn't matter.
There you go.
Speaking of going straight to hell,
smooth segue.
Moody.
Segue. Amy,
you've been playing one of my favorite games of all time, remake.
Yeah, the remake of one of
my favorite games of all time.
Yes, yeah. This is I did not expect to be doing this week. I will not lie. I thought I didn't know.
I didn't expect to be doing it solo at least. Anyway.
Yeah, you expected me to be coming in swinging and being like, yeah, let's go.
But we also, like we spoke about last week, that we want your first experience to be live streaming it, and that was going to be obviously potentially Saturday, but obviously that's way out of the window.
unless someone wants to buy it for me, no, that's not happening.
If I didn't post it, I would have put it in an envelope and sent it to you instead.
Yeah,
and you could
have just sent it back.
Yeah. Maybe I get outside tomorrow because the postman hasn't been yet. And if I can get outside when he gets it, say, "Yo, I need that back."
Just stand there waiting for him.
But no, yeah. So yes, I have been playing one of Amy's most anticipated games this year, and that is Silent Hill 2, the remake. I just want to get the OpenCritic up right now.
Well, I don't want to rewrite history. This was one of our most dreaded games of this year.
Yes, there's that as well. Oh yeah, there's no doubt about it because of the developer itself, and that is the Bloober team who have developed this game. Obviously, with publishers with Konami, and we all know how crazy Konami is and everything. So Konami's going to Konami, and Bloober team is interesting. There's no doubt about it. They've got some interesting passes behind them and everything like that. They haven't really had a really big standout hit, I think, ever in their career. They've had games that have made people go, like I think the first Layers of Fear made the people go, interesting. But Medium was garbage. Sorry, it was not a very good game. Had an interesting concept, no doubt about it. But yeah, that ending ain't good at all. And there's literally a part in the game where you just go, that made no sense at all for it. But yeah, so Silent Hill 2 released this week on PS5 and PC. Next year for Xbox for you guys and everything. Right now on OpenCritic is set as an OpenCritic as mighty with a top critic average at 87 and a critic's recommendation of 93%. Amy, this is a good game.
I figured.
There you go.
I can say that right now. For me. I obviously I really enjoyed Silent Hill 2 when I played it, but I've not played it in years. Like it is like decades, and I can't remember much about it. All I remember is that I enjoyed that. That's what I remember and whatnot. I don't have the epiphany towards it like I have epiphany to other games compared to what you have and everything like that. But no, this is a very good game. There's no doubt about that. It is a very well-made game. I think Bloober team have overall knocked it out of the park. I think there are parts that, for me, didn't work and everything for it. But they nailed the thing that I think everyone was more worried about, and that was the atmosphere. The atmosphere in this game is really good. It is intense. It can get creepy and scary sometimes. When the I don't know what they're called, the enemies you fight in the game, the dolls or whatever. When that radio sound goes off, my body literally was like going into fence mode. Like I could feel it. It was like my spider sense was tingling every single time, and it was really freaking me out. It was really well done. The sound, the audio. The best thing about this game is the audio. The audio is incredible in this game. I really think that's if this was like to be nominated for any awards or anything like that, for me, audio design, 100%. I'd be very surprised if it doesn't. Overall, the visually is a visually good looking game. I played it on just like not performance mode on my PS5. I just played just at the quality standards they made it locked it at 33 frames and everything, like 30 frames, and I just wanted to smooth it, chill back. Yeah, give us that extra 3.
It's all the difference.
Yeah, and it played really, really well. There was some like graphical twitches from time to times, but it wasn't like really anything that was to write home about to say, oh my god, this is broken type of thing. It isn't. It played really well. Never had a game breaking moment or anything like that. And for that, I played through the game. I've completed the game like within like, I think my time was set about 11 hours, give or take, for it. So I was like pretty happy with that for myself. I got stuck on a puzzle. I got the gallows puzzle, and
you have to pull the ropes.
Yeah, that one and everything like that. And I was just, I got annoyed at myself because I was thinking, this is so simple, you flipping idiot. Why?
I solved this puzzle 20 years ago.
Yeah, something like that. And I was just like, this is so simple. So I probably, it annoyed me so much that I put it down yesterday. So I finished it today as of what we are recording now. I could have probably finished it yesterday if that bloody thing didn't wind me up. And when I came back, I was just like, I just have to do this, you freaking idiot. Why? Why did my ADHD brain just go in one direction there? It didn't stay on the straight line for it, but no, either way. The thing that I think was the most disappointing for me for this game, I don't think the performances are great. I think they're mild, basically. I think for the material they have, I was kind of hoping for a little bit more oomph. The main character, James. I think it was James Sutherland. Yes, the guy who played him. I wanted to. I think the Silent Hill 2 script is a really good script if given to the right person, and I just don't think he really pulled it out of the park and knocked it out of the park, should I say. There were parts where I was just like, where's this been for the rest of the game and everything? I just feel like he just delivered his lines just very lazily for me personally. The other characters were probably the more interesting thing about it, out of it, just because they seemed like they were just like, I have a more meatier, crazier type of performance I can go for compared to what I think he probably was told to do and everything. So they probably stood out a little bit more, even though like the story is very messy for me in my head. I don't really understand what's really going on. I kind of get it by the end, I won't lie. I think that, Amy, you can tell me if I'm wrong or right here. It's probably what they're going for in the game in general, is for you to basically figure it out all by at the end and see that everything what leads up, it all lands and everything. Some of the boss fights are a pain in the backside. You're just like, I'm letting on these bastards so much. I was thinking, drop. And so, like, it seemed, and I played this on the baby mode, and I'm going through ammo like crazy on this game, and I'm just like, why won't you drop, you bastard? And no, I'm not a shit shot, okay? I had the auto lock on, so I was never missing for it. But yeah, one of the things I will give a shout out is its accessibility options. It has great accessibility options into it. It has like one of the ones like what Last of Us Part 2 champions with the I can't remember if its name is contrast mode.
High contrast mode.
Yeah, high contrast mode. Thank you. Yeah, it had that in the game, which was a lifesaver for me in alone. I was just like, some parts I was just like, I can't see. So yeah, I switched it sometimes. There it is. I found you. There's that key I've been looking for an half an hour. So that was a lot. I will always champion that for that type of thing. And overall, yes, I think this is a very good game. I think it's a worthy successor to what the original was. I think it's a game you should go out and buy and everything if you can't afford it and everything, or just when you get a chance to play. If you get a chance to play this, give it a go. I'll be very interested to see what your thoughts when you get a chance to see play it, Amy. No, yeah, I had a lot of fun with this game. It's chilling, it's atmospheric as hell, and it's kind of, I think, for a horror game, I think it hits the horror marks what you're looking for.
Oh yeah. So I think from the sounds of it, many of us owe Bloober Team an apology.
No, not really. I think all of the criticisms of Bloober Team leading at this point are perfectly valid.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
I know I'd written this game off before.
Yeah. Oh, I hold my hand up. So did I. I had that first reveal. That was the beginning of the year or early of this year. Was awful. It was a bad reveal, and it looks completely different to what it is when you see it now. So they've obviously worked a little magic to get that looking a little bit more visually better for it. And they've done a really good job. Knocking one thing out of the park out of how many mistakes they've done. Yeah, they've got
twice Friday day.
They're going in the right direction. I'll give them that. They've put out a good game. That's that, and I think that's all we want. That's all we want out of it. That's all gamers want. We just want a good game, and it's a good game. That's ultimately what it is. It is a good game. They've done a really good job, and I applaud them for that. But yeah, I'll
just one last question before I let Amy take the floor. I imagine she's got a bunch of them. This may or may not be something you can speak to. So I know you were taking issue with some of the performances and maybe the delivery of them. And what I wanted to know is, do you happen to know if it's a shot-for-shot remake in terms of the dialogue, or has it been rewritten and has bits been added from the original to give like extra context, and maybe that delivery is a little bit weaker than the original?
I don't know, so I can't really answer that for that. I'm sure I could check it quickly on that online, but
you're all good
for that. But yeah, I honestly don't know. I always knew that this was just a like-for-like remake, basically, but I don't know.
Yeah, I saw the scene from the early beginning of the game going around on Bluesky, I guess. And it was like, I don't know if it was shot for shot in terms of like camera angles in this cutscene, but like the dialogue was almost like one for one. Like the written, the words like that they were saying, I was like, oh, that is the script of Silent Hill 2. But knowing like the character of James quite well, I'm not gonna spoil anything. I wonder if the flatness of the delivery was a choice by the director or the actor, as necessarily opposed to like just bad acting, like because of the things that he's gone through in the past and what he's going through, in Silent Hill. That would be my guess without having played it.
Potentially, yeah, there's no doubt about that. I think you might be spot on there for it, but I would say it's the incorrect choice. I would say for me personally, if you want me to care about him, and I didn't really care much about him, that's the thing about it. That's what I hate if I'm not connecting to a character. Like I get what he's gone through and everything like that. Like I've gone through a loss myself like years ago and whatnot. But yeah, it's. I
think it's perfectly acceptable to hate James Sunderland.
No, yeah, it's no, it's just like there's parts, obviously, without not wanting to spoil anything for anything like that, but there's like there's parts of the scenes that happen. I'm just like, that's a massive thing has just happened, and his delivery's just flat, and I'm just like, nah, you wouldn't act like that for me personally. But I would have wanted a more, what's the word, gravitas, intensity or something into it. But no, it's like I think overall they've done a really good job. Like I said, the game's very good. I think the controls, I think are a bit stiff. But I think they've done that because like he's just a normal generic dude. He's not a Leon Kennedy doing backflips, doing karate kicks to zombies and everything. He is just is what that's the American term, an average Joe. He's an average Joe. Yeah. He's not a person who can do all these things. So it kind of fits for the character and everything. But sometimes in the battles, there can be a pain in the backside.
It'd be like if you or I was in Silent Hill.
Yeah.
Amy, I'm still my money's on you to suplex some fools.
Sadly, you cannot, unless they put that in later.
The types of things that Silent Hill would dredge up out of my past traumas,
right? Okay.
And make me fight as monsters. Like I ain't suplexing nothing. So I have a few questions. If you,
I will answer them the best of my
spoiler free, obviously. Did you get the trophy that you can get near the beginning of the game, where instead of going to Silent Hill from the car, you can go the other way and try to leave?
Yes.
Nice. I respect it. I read about that trophy, and it was like, they understood the assignment.
Yeah. They did.
I didn't know we had to be going to a play school, but
that is fair play to Bloober team. Like they've got stuff against them, but yeah, they've understood the assignment here, and they've done like very good job.
If I got a letter from my dead wife asking me to come to a hotel we spent a weekend once, like years previously, I don't think I would go, especially not to a place called Silent Hill. The name of the town itself is ominous.
After all the things start going crazy.
Like, you see the first thing, the first monster, and it's just like, well, fuck this.
Yeah, screw you. You've been dead for years. I'm not coming back.
I've still got half a tank of gas.
I can get somewhere.
But
I'm sure. But yeah.
So I think the thing that I was most nervous about a Bloober Team making a Silent Hill 2 remake, the thing I was most nervous about was specifically, and without going into spoilers, was Angela's storyline, like the other female character. Like, so how was that handled?
Well, I don't like
sensitively or not.
I can't really fully remember, obviously, the original game, so I don't know if they've got it correctly or not here.
Just not in terms of like, oh, did they redo her story? It's just like it's the themes in that story need to be handled very sensitively. And that was the thing I was after the Medium, the debacle that was the Medium, where they handled those sensitive themes not well at all.
So obviously there is a scene which is like closer to the end of the game. Won't spoil, don't worry. Obviously things are revealed. I think they handle it okay.
Good.
Good. That was okay, not great.
It didn't. The thing is, so I don't know if they've changed it. That's the thing, though, Vitz. That's the thing about it.
Yeah.
As long as it's okay, it doesn't matter whether they've changed it or not.
Yeah, I don't think they. I don't. The thing is about it, one of the things I would say is the weakest part of this game. One of the weakest part of this game, along with the performances, is that the characters just pop up out of everywhere, and you're like, and sometimes you forget about them, and you just like, oh, there you are. I haven't seen you for hours now since I've been playing this game and whatnot, and like some of them just pop up out of nowhere, and it's just like, oh, okay. Yeah, so that could be a bit like jargon to that type of thing, where it's like difficult to like connect and understand their point of view or understand what they've gone through and whatnot. But by the end of it, I think for Angela, I think they did it again without spoiling or even knowing if they have changed anything. They've done it okay. Like, I don't think they didn't offend me, but what they are alluding to in the game, I've never have it happen to me. So
so there's some like context missing in terms of relatability.
I can't get into it without spoiling it.
I feel like I remember when you played the Medium, and then there was the big story moments at the end of that game where and I remember we talked about the game, and I'd heard about the ending, and I remember you even said like, what the fuck was that, like. So like the fact that you didn't, when I asked about Angela's story and you didn't go, yeah, what the fuck was that, is a good sign that they've learned some lessons from the past.
Wait until Amy plays it and says, what the fuck?
Moody, what the fuck? No.
He turns around, got your ass.
Well, the real horror of Silent Hill 2 specifically isn't like monsters jumping out at you. The real horror is like the story. It's a very upsetting story.
Yeah. There are things in the game, obviously, what they talk about it can be very upsetting. There's no doubt about that. So, like, be warned, I guess, for people who go into playing this game. If you need to know what it's talking about, I would suggest checking up online and everything, just to get to something that you don't feel like you could go along with.
That is actually a question, I guess. Is there a trigger warning at the beginning of the game?
I can't remember. I don't think there was.
Because I remember in the beginning of like the originals, it was, this game contains violent and upsetting scenes and imagery, and I was like, that used to be all you got. So and I just thought to ask that now.
I think I don't know if by the gaming like convention law and everything like that if they have to or not.
I don't think it's like a rule or anything.
Yeah, I think it's more of a creative choice more than anything in terms of. I imagine the creative minds behind these things, they don't necessarily want to spoil the content, therefore they don't want to put a content warning up front saying, okay, this game contains themes of X, Y, and Z, so if you have issue with those, then maybe this isn't the one for you, kind of thing. So I get why it might not have content warnings, but obviously these things can be immensely triggering for people. and
Big time.
it's one of the one of the critiques like I level at some of the my favorite games like Persona 5 in terms of it doesn't give you any warning about the type of stuff it's going to be dealing with, and it hits you with a real hard one. Exactly, and it's kind of So that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I'm just having flashbacks to Persona 5 again. Now it's like, wow, they really went there. Which is fine. It's fine for games to go there. You got to handle it quite. You've got to handle it quite delicately, though.
Exactly.
Yeah.
How's Pyramid Head in this game? Because like the thing about Silent Hill as a franchise is like Pyramid Head was really super iconic in Silent Hill 2, and he should have stayed in Silent Hill 2 for reasons that if you play the game, you know why he's specific to that one game. And then they just kept bringing him back for all this other Silent Hill shit, and like he kind of became a bit overused.
Bit of a meme.
Did they overuse?
He's not a different dude in the other games.
No.
Oh.
No, like they did some stuff and they just ruined him. Basically, they just ruined him. But did they use enough restraint in Silent Hill 2 from Pyramid Head to actually be like scary fucker?
I believe so. Yes.
Good.
I think when you see him, you're just like, oh shit.
Which is how it should be. Fuck! What the fuck is that thing?
And then obviously when shit goes down, you're just like, oh shit.
Wait, I'm in control again. Oh crap!
No, I don't want to be in control. No, not like this. Not like this. No, I think they use him very well.
Nice.
That's awesome. The last question I have for me is more of a what happens next, which you might not be able to answer kind of thing. But obviously there was that other Silent Hill title that released, I want to say this year or maybe last year.
The short
and
message.
It wasn't. Yeah, and it wasn't greatly received. And obviously this is a remake kind of thing, so we're treading somewhat familiar ground, and obviously it's one of the most highly regarded games out there kind of thing. How do we feel about Silent Hill going forwards?
Yeah, do you want the Moody answer or the corporate Moody answer?
I both. Let's go both.
All right, the corporate Moody answer will be all about how it sells. Right. At the end of the day, it's coming out in a month that is Brooktober basically, and it's coming out against a lot of things.
It's true, but I feel like with Konami, like they haven't had a well-reviewed Silent Hill game for a very long time.
Let's just be frank. They haven't had a well-reviewed game for a long time.
I think even if it doesn't sell, like if it sells terribly, yeah, sure, like there'll be a whole like they'll back to the drawing board thing. But like I feel like even if it sells well but not amazingly well, they might look at the critical reception and go, but actually maybe we should stick with what works.
Yeah. When it comes to like the Moody answer, they could go either way. It all really depends if they really like. Obviously, Bloober Team have done like I said, for me, a good job here. Does that mean they get a chance to go do another remake, so maybe remake 3, or go to
original,
or do an original brand new Silent Hill game and everything? I think they've been given, because of what the reception is for this game, I think they've warranted a chance to do their own standalone story. But like the thing about it, like this is just like a makeover from original game and everything. They haven't really changed much to my knowledge, even when it comes to dialogue. I might be incorrect there, like say, I'm only going off what I believe. It's been said, but a brand new game is like them doing it, writing it, and everything like that. And when it comes to writing, they are not the strongest people behind this. I would hope them that they would try and go and look at some of the people who have written horror stuff, or go to the original creators and get them involved and whatnot for it. But I would hope to say that this is more Silent Hills is coming down in the future. With critical acclaim for people, I think, or at least being good for people, and that's what I would hope for. At the end of the day, I would hate to see a franchise, even though like there's nothing but franchises these days that just seem like they're going and going and going with nothing really new that's happening. I would still like to see the franchises still to go on, just obviously intertwisting them with new games and whatnot, and like same goes for Silent Hill. Like, if Bloober Team want to do something different and original that isn't a Silent Hill, that's obviously I'm all board on that for it. But they also, if they want to do a Silent Hill game, go for it.
Yeah, cool. That's good. Like, I would like to. I mean, there's 2 games in development. Silent Hill Townfall, which was being published by Annapurna. So let's see how let's maybe put that one back on ice.
Everyone in the studio was like, nope.
And it's being developed by somebody else. So like, hopefully someone else picks it up. Yeah. Like, and then a Silent Hill F, which I don't know much about because they announced it and then we haven't heard anything from it. And then that's the thing. Like, my expectations are still somewhat tempered. Like, I haven't played 2, the remake of 2, but like, assuming that I play it and I'm on board the same page as everybody else, like, my expectations are still tempered by the fact that, you know, Silent Hill, short message, I reviewed it on this podcast. It had its moments, but it wasn't great. And then Silent Hill Ascension, which everybody's trying to memory hole right now, which was the online TV show series. You know, that's trauma. That was a whole thing, and I didn't forget about that. So it's not like, it's like, even in the context of like modern Silent Hill, it's like they're not exactly batting 1,000 here. But like, if Bloober Team want to remake more of the Silent Hill series, that's great. Like, if they've done a good job with 2, let them have a crack at 1. And then 3, which is a weird order to do it, but whatever.
Yeah, it's weird. I can understand that 2 is obviously the more loved out of all of them out there and everything, but it's weird that they didn't start with 1.
Well, yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Because 2 stands alone as its own thing. Like, it's a self-contained like entry in the franchise. 3 is a sequel to 1. So like, doing 3, it's like, it's not going to make a ton of sense because Silent Hill 1 didn't happen. And then like 4 is obviously its own thing. 5 and so on, but yeah, no, like, hey, if they've done a good job, let them do another remake, let them have another crack, another remake. Oh, have a crack at another game. Like, they brought on consultants, and I know they worked with like some of the original Team Silent members from like who made Silent Hill 2, and obviously they had the original game to work from, which definitely helps. So, but like, hey, if they've learned enough lessons to make a good game that's not like offensive with sensitive subject matter, then cool, do your own Silent Hill thing.
Oh yeah.
I know you asked Moody that question, but
no, I agree.
Want to jump in there.
All I would ask Bloober Team is just everything you did with Silent Hill 2, like consulting the original team and everything like that, do that again. Like, they know what they're talking about. They know what they like. It's clear to see that people are not understanding, should I say, what Silent Hill is and what it means and everything. It's a very psychological type of game.
It's a specific vibe, as the kids would say.
Yeah.
It goes to a different tone of voice than, say, Resident Evil, which is very much like a B movie, horror type of thing. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Cool. So have you have any final thoughts about Silent Hill 2?
Congratulations to the team. Like, I think a lot of people with that first reveal, like I said, was like, what the fuck was this?
Well, that was where I sent you that meme, you remember, of him hitting the thing. And I made my own meme for it.
Yeah, it's like, what the hell was this and everything? And thankfully, they've proved people wrong. Like, the game is a very good game. I think it's well done to them. Like, awesome. It could have gone either way. But no, they've done a good job.
Awesome. And don't forget, everybody out there, that's coffee.com/wordsaboutgames. Silent Hill 2 is $59.99. If anybody's going to spend $59.99, coffee.com/wordsaboutgames.
Yeah, don't worry about what I'm going to tell you in the break about.
Yeah, no. I am the charity this week. Should I just make my own little charity read, which is just like, Amy didn't get to play Silent Hill 2.
Exactly.
Cool. So next up, we've got a little bit of time before the halftime break, so I want to switch up the order of the things in the document because I think me talking about my game is going to be quicker. Sure. Even though I'm going to talk about both games because I did play the other one as well. But since I got back from London, which you might have heard about on last week's episode of the Words About Games podcast, I have almost every day played Witchfire. Like
a game I upsold you into getting.
Not Zelda, not UFO 50. A game in early access is not coming out for at least another year. Called Witchfire, which is Vitz's fault. Because you put on a stream. You put on a stream of Andy Cortez playing Witchfire, and I watched the whole goddamn thing in his living room. And then by the time I was finished, I was like, cool, I want to buy this game now. And I did, and I've been playing it every day, apart from the last 2 days, where I've been playing the other game I'm going to talk about. But Witchfire it's a game where if you try to describe it like as simply as possible, you'll put a lot of people off who would otherwise like it, because it's a first-person shooter RPG, which is what they've sort of taken to calling it. Where it's like, it's by the developers of first-person shooters like Painkiller, so it's very fast and fluid, and like it's a proper first-person shooter. It also has an RPG progression mechanics in it. It also is a bit like Hades. Like I wouldn't go as far as to call it a roguelike, but you know how in Hades where you have to like you pick your door, and then you go through the door, and then when you finish like doing whatever, you get a power up or a boon or whatever. And then in Witchfire, like you go onto a map, and the idea is like you're gonna kill the witch, and there's not really much story in the game yet. It's in early access. So the map is populated by events and treasure chests and skull icons. And there's 3 different levels. There's like dangerous areas, very dangerous areas, extremely dangerous areas. And like you go there and there's enemies, you fight the enemies. And then when you've killed all the enemies, then you get to pick a power up. So it's like you do the encounter, and it's like you might get a faster reload time, or you might get like a buff to one of your spells or something like that. So it's a bit like Hades in that regard. It's a bit like Dark Souls in that if you die, you have to go corpse running to get all of your souls back. It's called Witchfire in this game. Or you lose it if you die again before you get to it. Yeah. And it's a bit like an extraction shooter, because when you put all of those mechanics together, it's like, how much do you risk, right? So like, you know, you're going out into the world and you're killing enemies to get your Witchfire. You're doing events. There's things called calamities. There's all this stuff. It's like, how much do you risk before you say, actually, I'm gonna take what I've got and I'm gonna piece the fuck out.
Yeah,
I'm cashing it out.
Yeah.
But like, so like, but when you add like extraction shit, people think of like Tarkov and Hunt, which is like not something. I think people who don't like those games would like this one. For starters, it's single player as opposed to like PvP. It doesn't have any PvP elements to it. It is purely just you versus the environment. But it does a lot of really cool and interesting things with that mix of game mechanics. So, for example, the difficulty is controlled entirely by you, like when you're playing it. So when you start off, the game's pretty tough, but you start leveling up, like investing in stats and unlocking. You do research that just takes time. So like, you know, you research a new gun, you spend gold on it, and then it researches as you're playing the game. So like, the more you do on a map, the more the bar will fill up. Then you get back, you've got a new gun. The guns on, like, your damage output isn't tied to any stats. So you're not like, say in a Souls game, you're building a class. Like, you're building your stats based on like the weapon that you want to use. This is just the guns are the guns.
Right.
The guns are the guns. You can level those guns up, but they actually just get more special abilities as you level them up. Right. So, for example, you get a shotgun. One of the shotguns is like, like you get to the first upgrade point, and it's like the shotgun now burns. Like, so it does fire damage as well. Or like there's a pistol like you can upgrade where it's like, okay, it shoots like bullets into enemies, and then when you reload, all the bullets detonate. Like, so you're building your stuff out that way. And then once you start getting to grips with it and stuff, it's like then you go to a thing, we'll call it a thing, called where you increase your gnosis level. And what that does is it gives you access to more mechanics, more stations in the map. Like at your hub, you'll be able to equip this thing, or you'll be able to do some other stuff. And like out in the world, it's like, okay, so you increase your gnosis, which means you can unlock new areas in each map, or you can go to a new map, but it also increases the difficulty. Right. And what it does is, instead of increasing the difficulty by like, now all of the enemies take 50% more damage to kill, it's like, no, now it introduces new enemies. So an extremely dangerous encounter might now have elite level enemies like grenadiers or these floating head things that shoot fucking green shit at you. Really fucking annoying. But so that's how it manages the difficulty, which I think is really smart. Because, like, one of the things I hate about difficulty selection is, like, oh, you take more damage and the enemies will take less damage. It's like, that's not really difficulty. That's just patience. You're testing my patience, not my skill. Whereas in this game, it's testing your skill, right? Like, and then I'm up to Gnosis 2. And then it's like those middle level difficulty challenges are now like, oh, there's like elite mobs in the middle of this thing. And it's like, you've really got to think about, okay, how much ammo do I have? Like, what do I have? Do I need to go over there? Like, there's now a guy that wanders around, and if he sees you, he fucking spawns in a bunch of stuff to try and kill you. Like, there's enemies that will spawn out of the portals that you need to use to leave.
Right.
That will come and try and kill you. I had this one incredible thing. So, like, first off, the shooting is incredible. It feels amazing. It's slick as hell. And, like, it's so much fun to get into fights in this game. But, like, I decided I was going to fight an extremely dangerous combat encounter. Because I was like, I need the Witchfire. That's what I was trying to do. And I'm going to get the most Witchfire by killing the most things. So I was fighting these Witchfires. All of these enemies, and there's like grenadiers and there's all sorts of stuff, and I'm dodging and like getting my headshots in, and I'm using my spells and I was like, why is everything exploding? Like this, like even for what I'm doing right now, there are too many explosions. What the fuck is happening? And I turn around and like I had managed to retreat into another area that had a smaller encounter, so I kited the big encounter into the smaller encounter. Because I needed the space, I needed to retreat. So, like, I'm fighting a few extra enemies. But in the meantime, while all this is happening, this dude called the Drowned Captain and his posse of guys had come out of the portal, down the hill, and had started firing on me as well. So I was, like, fighting, like, this mini-boss and this encounter and that encounter. And I was having a great time. Like, it was, like, skin of your teeth, like, seat of your pants, like, no thoughts, only, like, action.
Yeah, I'm trying to activate. Yeah.
Like, it's like I fight or I die. Like, there's no running from this. And that's the bread and butter of the game. It's phenomenal. Like, you experimenting with different guns and like leveling them up and seeing what they do, and like experimenting with different spells. Like, I had trouble with the first big main boss, and then I unlocked a spell which just made him trivial for me and in the way that I play. And I was like, oh, this is super easy now. Like, awesome. And like, that's the kind of like making the game easier like thing that I love, where it's just like, I found a strategy that makes this easy for me. But like, if say Moody was playing Witchfire and he tried the same strategy, it might not necessarily make it easy for him. It's just that this is now centered around how I'm trying to play the game.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, it is. It's great.
I'm glad I encouraged you to pick this up.
You encouraged me to pick this up, and I literally played it every day until Tuesday when I sat down to play Metaphor.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not going to play it today. I'm going to do other things. And then like 20 minutes after I said that, I would be like, just like one run. Like, it's very much like you set your own objectives, because you don't really have the story. There's only 3 maps currently in the game. So like, it's like, okay, what am I trying to do here? It's like, well, I've just unlocked this new mechanic, this whole new system where I have to go out and collect things. I'm trying to be vague because I like, discovery is a big part of why this game is cool. So I'm trying to be vague about everything. So it's like, okay, so I'll go and do that. I'll go and do a few runs where it's like, I'm prioritizing whatever this thing says that I need to do. And like, I get sucked into games like that so easily. Where it's like, I am directing what I'm doing. It's like, I'm not trying to get to do the next quest or get the next thing. It's like, I am trying to collect 50 of these things. Cool. Yeah. Well, I'm nearly there. Okay. If I do one more run, that run didn't go very well. Like, let me just try again. Like, roll it back. Let's go. And I haven't had a bad time with it yet. Like, for an early access game, there's a lot to it. Like, I know they're going to add like a lot more stuff. But it's already quite polished. It's already a really fun game. Like, even knowing that they're going to add more areas, more enemies, more weapons, like a story.
Yeah.
Like, you get an opening cutscene and that's basically it. Apart from like environmental storytelling, like, I'm happy. Like, I'm on the third of the 3 maps that's currently in early access, and it's like I'm just poking around in there right now, like seeing what's all around, and it's just like I haven't seen all of the events. Like, it's fun. Like, it's like
that's what we're going for in these things.
Scratches that little Elden Ring itch of just being like, what's over here?
And then it's even better news for the games that you bought but not played yet, because it's Steam Next Fest next week.
I wonder what Amy's topic's going to be.
Exactly.
Oh, look at all these cool rocks I found.
Mm-hmm.
But no, like, Witchfire is a really fun game. Like, I get it if people don't want to pick it up because it's in early access, and it is like they haven't priced it like lower because it's in early access. I think it's like £30-something, and that's the price it's going to be when it launches. So you're like, this is very much you're buying in, and you're not going to get the full game now. And it ain't perfect. Like, it needs work. Like, the stats are cool because they don't affect your damage output, and like, so it'll be like luck. It'll be a stat, and it's actually worth putting points in. Like, for the first time in video game history, like, we put points in luck, because as you're going around like on a run, if you walk into a trap or you take damage, there's a chance that the witch will notice you, and you've got these eyes that appear in the top corner, and if that shit fills up, a calamity gets unleashed, which is like a big mega boss event. And I killed one. I don't understand how, like, I killed one, but like the first 3 or 4 of these I tried to do, I had no idea what was happening. And I think the game needs a little bit more guidance for stuff like that, because I think because things have been added to it for the past year that it's been in early access. Like, I jumped in because it got released on Steam and it got a big boost of people talking about it, and it's like I think they assumed that like if you played this game from day one and they added calamities 6 months in, it's like people are gonna be like picking up on that stuff, whereas I'm coming into the whole thing as it is right now fresh, and I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Like, the first time I tried to fight a calamity, some fucking thing was spinning around and shot fucking skulls at me and I died. And the second time a calamity appeared, it fucking landed on top of me, like, and I died immediately, like. And then it was just like, okay, I'm gonna try and figure out what this shit actually is all about. But it's like trying to do that while it's like it's all kicking off and there's still enemies on the map and stuff. It's like it's really difficult to learn. And then when I finally did it, I was like, I don't know how I did that, but I did it. Huzzah! And now I just leave. Yeah. If a calamity happens, I just find the nearest portal and leave before anything happens. Like, I'm like, fuck this shit, I'm out. So I'm looking forward to them revamping some stuff.
Sure.
But it's a very good game. I had a very positive experience.
Longer ahead, but I'm really glad you're vibing with it right now, especially as I put you onto that.
I was going to say, if I wasn't, I would have been like, damn you, Vitz. I could have put this money towards Silent Hill. But no, like, it was good. I'm glad I've checked it out. Like, I've probably stopped for now with everything that's coming out over the course of the next like month or two. And it's like, then it's like there'll be an update like in December or whatever, and I'll be like, oh, let's dive back in, let's see what's going on.
Mr. Moody is poised with his microphone to say
absolutely nothing.
This game sucks. You suck.
I was listening.
I heard Dark Souls and I went to sleep.
No, I'm glad to hear that you're enjoying it and everything. Like, that's all that matters at the end of the day. Playing games, enjoying them. A novel concept, right? That is. Yeah. A novel concept. But no, I'm really glad. I've never heard of this game, I won't lie. So, but it doesn't sound like it's something that I'll be interested in. But I'm glad to hear that.
Not at the moment. Definitely not at the moment, for sure. Like, I think I'll let you know, like, as time goes on. But I think at the moment, I don't think it's your cup of tea. But it might be yours. Check it out on Steam and Epic.
Yeah. Go and check it out.
Hell yeah. Let's do a quick little indie game of the week, shall we?
Yeah.
Yep. I heard someone say yep. Mm-hmm. It's time for Indie Game of the Week. This is the thing we do every week where we talk about a cool looking upcoming indie game that we think you should check out, maybe even wishlist. If you like indie games, why don't you scroll on down to that description wherever you're choosing to listen to this podcast and click on our Steam Curator page. We have a whole fucking list of indie games of the week, all of the indie games of the week that we've ever done. You can wishlist and buy lots of cool indie games that we thumbs up at some point in the past. This week's indie game of the week is the diner at the end of the galaxy. And I'm going to just read the first paragraph of the Steam page, because this is a well-written Steam page. We come across a lot, I feel, on this segment of Steam pages that don't sell the games very well. Like, you don't really get, like, what the game actually is based on what it's trying to say about itself. But I think this one does a pretty good job. Diner management, base building, and a delicious side of diplomacy and exploration come together in a game where you shape the fate of the galaxy from your very own diner. Transform an abandoned trading outpost on a desert planet into a hub for the galaxy's mercenaries, scheming nobles, smugglers, traders, adventurers, and all manner of patrons. Everyone's welcome, as long as they've got a few gobbets to spend. Basically, you get to build Mos Eisley. build and manage Mos Eisley. I was trying to think of the Den of Scum and Villainy line, but I couldn't remember the full quote.
You nailed it. I think the people got the gist.
But yeah, no, it's a management game, sim game, where you like manage a space diner and hire a bunch of people, build all the stuff, and it sounds pretty cool. Like, I like that kind of game.
Yeah. Be sure to check out that Steam link and give it a wish list if it's something up your Strasse.
And then, like, as you progress, you can like send crews of people off to explore the galaxy and bring back like new stuff that you can put in your diner. Very cool loop, as people say these days. People are all about loops these days in their videos.
We love a loop.
Loops are good, apparently. Yeah, so that game is linked in the description wherever you're choosing to listen to this podcast. Click on that game, have a look at the trailer, read the Steam page, wishlist the game, and then come back, go to the Steam Curator page, wishlist like all the other games that are on there, because wishlisting games is great, and developers really appreciate it when you do that. Maybe buy a few games, but then come back and listen to our rest of our podcast.
What's good, everybody? I hope you're having the best day. The Words About Games podcast is fundraising for the fabulous team over at Special Effect. If you didn't know, Special Effect is a charity that transforms the lives of physically disabled people all over the world through innovative use of technology. The heart of their work is the mission to maximize fun by helping people control video games to the best of their abilities. They're bringing families and friends together, having a profoundly positive impact in quality of life, confidence, and rehabilitation. Amy, Moody, and I have been working on a number of streams to bring you a whole host of shows, games, shenanigans, and more. Everything from ranking Resident Evil, becoming the noble team in Halo Reach, and finding our competitive streak in legally distinct and 90s game shows. We've got several more charity streams in the works, and with your help, we can get there. Special Effect is a charity near and dear to our hearts, and we'd love your support in raising as much money as possible to bring the joy of video games to so many more people. Simply click on the link in the description below of wherever you're enjoying this podcast, or scan the QR code you see now. That will take you to our Just Giving page, where you can learn more and donate. If you're not in a position to donate, that's more than okay. Times are tough and we understand. Please consider sharing our Just Giving page on social media. It will help spread the word and the work that we're doing. Thanks for listening, and for now, let's get back to the podcast.
And we're back to talk about video games on this blessed video game day, on this video game podcast. We're actually just spending the entire time talking about video games.
It's weird.
It's like
wild.
The weirdest like confluence of things where it's like everybody was just like, I want to talk about this and I want to talk about, and then it's like it's all video games all the way down.
Who'd have thunk?
I still want to talk about one thing.
Yeah, no.
This is true.
This is true. It's a video game. You've played a bazillion hours of all of the other video games in the series.
Yes.
So it counts. It counts.
What's your point?
I'm saying
what are they alluding to? Find out soon.
I'm saying it counts as the video game episode. But Vitz,
hello.
What do you wish to talk about?
About a little game called Metaphor ReFantazio, as I understand it's pronounced.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so this, if you're unaware, is from the project leads of Persona 3, Persona 4, and Persona 5. And they formed a new studio, Studio Zero, and Project Zero. And this is their first title. And there is a demo available out, and it's a fairly sizable demo. I believe it's around about 10 hours long, and
I played in 7, so I finished it in 7 hours.
And audio progress transfers over to the full game, which is out on today, on the day you're listening to this, dear listener. So this is kind of the highly anticipated title from this studio because, as you would imagine, like Persona 3, 4, and 5 are cherished among the video game community, and this is a lot like Persona 5 is the headline from me. So for context, Persona 5 was my first kind of Atlas title, and then I played Persona 5 Royal, and then this would be my next one. So I haven't had a chance to dip into, say, Persona 3 Reload or Persona 4 Golden and that kind of thing. And the reason I bring up Royal, Golden, and Reload is that they were done by different teams. So as I understand it, so the project leads who put ReFantazio together, they did the bulk of the work on the original Persona games, and then it was handed off to a different team within Atlas kind of thing, who made all the quality of life improvements to bring you titles such as Royal, Reload, Golden, that kind of thing. So Metaphor carries a lot of the same DNA as Persona 5 did. At least that's my initial read, and it's kind of 1-to-1 in that sense. So if you play Persona 5 and you really dig the gameplay loop, there's that word again, the loop and the whole machinations of how the plot line goes, then you're going to be right at home with Metaphor ReFantazio. I will say the setting and the aesthetic didn't grab me as hard as the Persona 5 did, because that game hits different with its art style and the obviously, as we know, Persona invented jazz, and it's one of these where that game hits different, and it immediately captured me, and I was all in with the characters and whatnot. And we have the sweetest little boy here in Metaphor, and you get to name your main character. And given the relationship, strange as it is, between Metaphor ReFantazio and Formula One. So for those who don't know, at the Singapore Grand Prix, Atlas did a promotion with the Haas F1 team, and the amazing Lana Pierce went down with her father to help do the collab. And the Haas F1 team have Kevin Magnussen and Nico Hulkenberg, both of whom their namesakes at least feature in the game. And I'm sure you'll find as you start the game, there's a chap called Stroll. There's slightly different spelling, but I'll take it. And I was like, oh shit, it's Stroll. So I decided to name my main character Leclerc after my favorite driver, Charles Leclerc. Ames, what did you go for with yours?
I googled that we're talking about the main character because you get to name 2.
Oh yes,
characters.
You name yourself as a player, so the game will ask you, who's looking through this veil at the game? Who are you? And then you get to name the character itself. So I named myself as Vitz, and then the MC is Leclerc.
I named myself as Amy with 5 Ys, which is Moody will remember from all of the times he got stabbed by somebody in Among Us with Amy with 5 Ys. Is my video game name.
Yes.
And then I looked up, I googled what's the canon protagonist name, and it was Will, so I named him Will.
Is that Will with a Y and 2 L's? Or?
No, it's not Baldur's Gate Will, it's just Will. That's what the internet told me, and I was like, that'll do. Well, I'm not really that, because it's all fully voiced and stuff. No one's gonna say the name at any point in the game anyway. So I was just like, that'll do.
To an extent, but we'll come back to that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, cool, Will, that'll do. And I have found Hulkenberg.
Yes.
I don't think you'll have found him because you haven't finished you haven't gotten all the way through the demo.
No, I've got a couple of hours in, so I think I'm around about 2 hours in. But yeah, I because I've seen some of the promotional material, I know who Hulkenberg is, and she features in the opening cutscene and things like that when you're in the cart going that kind of thing.
It's very distracting.
She's a badass.
Yes. Her name being Hulkenberg is quite distracting as somebody who's an F1 fan. It's like, why? But yes, I will.
Yeah. So the production value is through the roof, as you would expect of one of these titles. However, for someone who's played Persona 5 and then Persona 5 Royal, there's a lot that was added. to that, and I think because the core team is the same as the P5 team, or at least the project leads, there's a lot of learnings that haven't been brought over from, say, Persona 5 Royal to this game. So in your opening tutorial mission, not everything is fully voiced over, and that's something that I would expect because that was one of the additions they made to Persona 5 Royal. And as I say, it follows exactly the same beats as a Persona game in terms of your character will go through some sort of awakening and find a higher power. And it's really weird to me that the quote unquote persona that MC unlocks is very much akin to Akechi-kun's from Persona 5 and their whole Crow and Robin Hood persona kind of thing going on there. So that was a bit distracting to me. But yeah, you have a companion as you would Morgana, and she's really cool in this game.
She is, yeah.
In the outset, she has
Gallica.
a whole different outfit that you put in. Yeah, as you go about, and then you end up in a sort of mine prison, and they actually refer to it as a prison. And Gallica, who is akin to Morgana, even says you'll never see it coming at one point. And I was like, oh, you're being cute there. Yeah, so we're going through the motion. So a few of the characters that we've met, they've had their awakening, and there's a new system. There's a few new systems in this game in terms of there's some real-time combat elements, complete with the dodge button as well.
The worst dodge roll I've ever had. Oh,
yes. It works as well as you think a dodge roll would work in one of these games.
In a turn-based RPG.
Yes, exactly. But it's a nice change of pace in terms of speeding up a combat with just low level enemies, that kind of thing. So you can still do the hold L2 on a dual sense at least, and it will do the whole vision thing where you can see which enemies are strong, weak, or like in the similar level to yourself, so you can go in and just melee attack. As I said, it's got really cool transitions to get you into the combat, and the combat works similar to Persona 5 in terms of, yes, it's turn-based. There's different tiers, and there's a front line and a back line. You can stack your characters, and they can give you different buffs and things. I will say the UI is a lot noisier in here, for me at least, than my sensibilities of playing through Persona 5, especially in the overworld. So you have initial section when you're walking through a city environment, and there's so much going on the screen. It was actually quite distracting, but I imagine it's something to get used to as the game goes on. And yet, as I say, for the combat, it seems to hit all those dopamine kind of inducers to tick all those boxes. The music isn't as banging as I need it to be right now. Hopefully, there's some more themes which will get introduced. Maybe when I get the full game, or later on in this demo, but. Yeah, like even the victory theme in Persona 5, it is iconic, and here it just doesn't have that same hit. But that just might be me having more affinity to Persona because I've spent so many hours in that world, and falling in love with the music and the whole art style they have going on there. But yeah, for what I've played, this is more Persona. More Persona is what I'm going for, what I'm looking for, and yeah, I can't wait to get the full game in and jump in with my boy Leclerc.
Cool, that's good. So I played this demo all the way through till it was like, hey, just go and buy the full game now, and I was like, nah, it's all right, I'm renting it. Well, no, that turned out. But yeah, so the full demo, to give some context, it's the prologue, because this game has an incredibly lengthy prologue.
In the same way Persona 5 did as well, in terms of the opening mission was a tutorial.
Sort of. Yeah, I mean, the opening mission was a tutorial. You don't really get access to the calendar system that much for the first several hours of the game. And then you get to do 3 days, basically. So in metaphor, like you do, this was the demo. It's like you get 3 days where it's like you do whatever, like there's quests over here, there's stuff over here.
There's an optional dungeon.
There's an optional dungeon. I actually, I've got some stuff to say about that optional dungeon. But like, so for 7 hours I've played this game, and for most of it I was like, why'd you do this at the beginning? Like, this is not a good start for the game, I think, for me personally. Like, Persona 5 hits straight away. Like, and I mean like straight away. Like, and I don't want to I don't want to compare Metaphor to Persona 5 too much, because, you know, I'm comparing 7 hours of an RPG with a 100-hour RPG, and that just doesn't seem fair. But even like knowing the fact that like the first 20 minutes of Persona hit harder than anything else, like, you know what I mean, like like I'm thinking like Doom levels of like, this is the perfect way to introduce a game. The tutorial doesn't feel like a tutorial because it's telling a gripping story and it's introducing you to characters and mechanics and stuff like that. In Metaphor, I was just painfully aware of the fact that like I'm in a tutorial. Like, I am in an extended tutorial and I don't like it. Like, let me break out of this thing. I already know how to play your damn game. But the prologue, as it was, before you get like access to like the more of the systems of the game, I was just like, the story's not hitting as that much. The characters that it's introducing aren't really hitting me that much. It's like there's one character who I was like, oh, you're not going to be around for very long.
Yeah, you're destined for this world.
You aren't long for this world, friend. But like by the time you get to sort of, you get through a couple of dungeons, it's very directed, and then like the big story thing happens where it's like, okay. And like I had this thought while I was sitting playing it. I was like, oh, okay, the game's actually starting now. Thank fucking God. Like, and I'm like 5 hours into this. Like, I'm finally playing Metaphor ReFantazio. And I didn't have a wholly positive reaction to how the game sets its story up. And like knowing that there's another like 80 hours of game ahead of me and plenty of twists and turns, I was like, okay, you know, it's fine. But like, yeah, the way like some stuff happens to get you going into the story, I was just like, really, this is what we're going with? Okay. Well, at least now you're letting me loose into a dungeon. That's cool. And like, yeah, it just hasn't grabbed me that hard. Like, as hard as I was expecting it to. And maybe part of that was on me for having like expectations like that for the game. Like, just based on the fact that Persona 5, Persona 3, like...
Well, you have the pedigree, yeah. I think it's rational to have those expectations going in.
So I was just like, the story seems fumbled right now to where I'm at. Like, there's this cool meta story stuff going on, and it's like, I'm intrigued by like what they're doing in this with this like meta story stuff. But like the actual story of the actual game, like, I'm just like, who cares? I don't. Like, right now, I'm sorry, I don't. Like, you're on a quest to do this thing, and then this thing happens, and I'm doing mimes now for people who have played like the game or the demo who know what I'm talking about. But the thing where the thing goes and then it goes brah, and then like I was just like, what the fuck is this shit?
I am thou, thou art I.
No, it's not even. It's not even that. Like the Persona stuff was funny to me because it was like, yeah, there is a thing where there is a basically it's 1-1 like between like awakening and a Persona and awakening the fucking whatever Arcana or whatever it's called in this game. And I'm like, it's the same thing. But then it's like it's the same thing in 3 where it's like, and then you know what I mean, like. But no, there's a story beat where you get to the capital city again after your first visit.
I'm just outside that,
and it's just like. I was laughing, and I shouldn't be laughing right now. And then I got to do my 3 days where it's like I did a bit of the main dungeon. I did the side quests, which are new, I think, like proper side quests. They're not like the ones that you were in the demo weren't very in depth. Like you go to a place, you do a thing, and it's like, oh, you buy this, and it's just like it's to get you more like involved in the world and learn more about the world through like other characters. And I was like, that was a better introduction, like to the world than the introduction I've had, and like I think my problem is I think the 5-hour prologue was unnecessary, in the way that it was set out, and like finally getting to like getting my hand on the sticks, because it feels like I didn't really play the first 5 hours of the game. I just like watched it happen. And then it's like, you know, you learn more about, like, there's the optional dungeon that you talk about. And what I thought was really cool was, about the optional dungeon was, like, you go and see a guy, and you can buy, like, intel off him for, like, dungeons. And he tells you, like, oh, you know, like, the creatures are weak against this, or, like, they'll be strong against this, like, in an in-universe way.
Yeah.
Which I thought was cool for the main dungeon, but you could do it for the optional dungeon. And the optional dungeon, it's like, look, there's a monster in there, like the main monster, and it's like it goes crazy whenever it sees like staves or like wands or staffs or whatever, and then it's like, oh, so like if you have a mage character, because this game has jobs, as opposed to like just personas, and it's like, so if you go in there with a mage character, you get fucked up. So I was like, oh, that's really interesting. So you're giving me a dungeon where it's like I have to think, right, okay, I can't use any of my mage classes that I've unlocked. Like, so I have to build a party around something else. And I was like, that's really interesting. And then the demo ended and I was like, God damn it. Like I finally found something like to grab onto, and now I can't continue the game. Like, so I was a bit frustrated, but like that was promising for me. Like in the same way that the way the side quests like flesh out the world was promising to me. And there's other things as well. It's like you've got your character's traits like you have in Persona 5. Where it's like you've got your courage and you've got your wisdom, and like when you level those up, you can see how fast they're leveling up. So if you get 3 points, it moves by a certain amount, and you can see the line for the next level. And I was like, oh, that's better. That's like so much better than just guessing. The guessing game you have to do in Persona 5, because it's like to unlock that optional dungeon, you have to level your wisdom up to level 2 before the character you will talk to you and give you the quest. So like I prioritized that, where it was like, okay, I'm looking around for things to do that'll like improve my wisdom, and it's like, you know, this thing will improve my wisdom, and I know before I commit myself to doing it, or like, you know, this quest will improve your whatever, and it's like that one will improve my wisdom too, so I'll go and do that. And it's like, in terms of like the time management stuff, it's improved, I think, on Persona 5, because like I can manage my time better if I'm going for a goal and I know how to get there. And I think Metaphor does a better job of that from what I've played of it so far. But man, I'm just not invested in that story right now. Like,
they've definitely earned the benefit of the doubt through obviously the pedigree and the lineage of the games which have come before, kind of thing. But yeah,
for me,
I think we've been spoiled because Persona 5 hit so fucking hard, and it seems like they dropped the ball here.
it feels like it, just from in terms of like how they've started the game, because like you start the game as like a flash forward. And it's not a spot; it's a 4-year-old game. Like it's a flash forward. So like, and then when you come back to it, you're introduced in that sort of slow burn way to like characters and setting, and like the protagonist has a mysterious past, and like this fucking blonde dude is nuts. Like, where the fuck does he get all this energy from? And, like, but like, and there's a cat and it talks, and like it's all very intriguing. But like the story of like the first dungeon hits hard. Like they made a good choice of like putting one of their hardest hitting storylines at the beginning, because like that's where you should put one of your most hardest hitting storylines in that sort of framework. Whereas it's just like nothing's hitting hard for me. The thing that's giving me the benefit of the doubt is the pedigree of the developer, obviously, but the thing that's making me choose this over, because I could just get Silent Hill 2 instead, is that I know what this game's supposed to be about, and in the first 7 hours, it's not about that yet. And that's where I'm coming out of the demo feeling cold, whereas like knowing where this game is going in terms of its themes, that have been discussed by people who have played the full game, it's like, okay, so I want to get to that stuff. So I'm going to keep playing the game, but like I can't in good conscience be like, it's not there yet. And I've played a decent chunk of it.
No, 100%. I think that's completely valid. And for as much as I wish I was immediately in love with this game like I was Persona, the truth of the matter is I'm not yet, and I have faith that I'll get there, but it's still, there's a certain level of uncertainty there. But the good news is that the demo is available, so you can, dear listener, can go check it out for your very selves and come to your own conclusions. And let us know what you named your MC in the comments below. Yeah. Because I'm nosy like that.
Or just let me know if I'm taking crazy pills and like.
No, for me, they're all Formula 1 drivers, and that's why I named my boy Charles.
Fucking Hulkenberg, man. Like. God damn it! I like the job system that's in the game. I really do.
Yeah, I think it has legs to be a lot cleaner than Persona in terms of having to go around and fetching all the different personas itself. Is just right. You have your archetypes, and then you can spend mag points to kind of respec different characters into different archetypes if you want. And then once you learn a certain archetype, it doesn't charge you again to kind of respec it to a different.
And you can do it on the fly. It's like to unlock a new archetype on a character, you have to go into the place to unlock the thing. But once it's unlocked, like even if you're in mid dungeon, you can just be like, shit, I need a healer. And you can just switch it to a different character who's already got that healer archetype, which I think is a nice touch. Because if I'm getting my ass handed to me and I realize I need X class, I don't want to have to like dip out of the dungeon and go do the thing. It's like I can just redo it on the spot, and I like that.
So I think there's I've been able to dive into it so far, but there's a gameplay mechanic on the touchpad where I think you can build out different loadouts. And then you can be able to essentially quickly select like a group of characters with various different archetypes associated with them. So then you can just respec really quickly on the fly, kind of thing. Rather than having to dip into the menus.
I haven't really done that yet because I'm still trying to like learn what characters are going to be good at what and like who I should have like on what thing.
Yeah, because
like
naturally it steers you in a direction to say, okay, this old grizzly dude comes up and you're kind of directed to make them into a mage to begin with, and it's kind of okay, but is that actually the best fit for them, or is a different person likely to be a mage? Should I be the mage kind of thing as rather than a seeker, and kind of swap all that around? So I think there's different ways to play that, and as you say, because mysteriously you're one who can accept all archetypes as can everybody else this time around. It's one of these where you can just focus on building yourself as a mage, having yourself on the back line when it comes to the formation, so you are less vulnerable to melee attacks and things like that, and just building a powerhouse of a character there, obviously over the course of the full game kind of thing. So
yeah, and like
interested to see where that goes.
You can unlock like more specialized advanced versions of jobs and stuff, which I haven't done yet, but like they're all there. It's all based around, rather than catching personas like the Pokemon, it's all based around like relationships. Like
yes,
that was another thing, and I think one of the reasons
do bro handshake kind of thing.
You do the handshake, and I was like, there was a couple of characters where I was like, oh, I'm so glad you're a character, like, and not someone I have to like, you know what I mean? You're a follower, thank God, because I want to see more of you in this game. But the fact I haven't seen any, because the idea is the characters are out in the world for you to interact with, as opposed to just like. So like, but they're a follower events or whatever only happen at certain times. I haven't done any of that yet because none of it's unlocked, and I think that's another reason I'm coming out of the demo cold, where it's like thing that I haven't been able to do yet.
the brand new stuff, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's metaphor though. Like, look out for my review of it whenever I fucking manage to finish it. Jesus Christ, it's a long game.
First, you have to get it first.
Oh, I'm working on it.
This is true.
I'm working on it. Coffee.com/wordsabougames. Fund my games, please. Somebody.
No, really, they should be sending that to me. I'm the one who's unemployed.
You're the one who's already played Silent Hill 2.
That's not my fault.
I haven't played it.
Speaking of games that you have played, though, Moody, talk us through about little old Astrobot.
Astrobot is Joy's game of the year.
It really is.
Yeah, it's such a great game. I'm kind of like gaming sometimes when it comes to platformers. Sometimes they vibe with me, sometimes they just don't. Some of them have been the Mario games, which a lot of people have been praising this one to be like. Yeah, Astrobot is just a joyous, fun game to play, and I'm really having just a great time playing it. I put it down to try and smash through Silent Hill 2 and everything for it, and my aim is probably to have it complete by the time Amy comes down soon and everything. So,
wow.
Well, I have got the new Zelda game, so
Echoes of Wisdom, yeah.
Yeah, I have got that as well. So, I got And looking at like what people are saying for like its completion length, I'm just like, that's longer than Zelda. No, not longer than Zelda. That's longer than Silent Hill 2. So I'm just like, oh, okay, that's interesting. So I might have to like go between them both and everything. But the game's just great. It's warranted to all the love what it's been getting and everything to what I've seen so far.
Yeah.
The music is absolutely outstanding. It is really like one of its strongest aspects. I'm also loving like the nods and homages, and also little twists they've done to like obviously past characters they've obviously done. Obviously, God of War, Uncharted, and everything. Uncharted's one of my favorite ones. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah. So
for how they tweaked it.
For the uninitiated, in each of the galaxies, they have what they internally refer to as VIP bots, and these will be specially themed levels, as opposed to just finding a character that you have to rescue like you would any other bot kind of thing. They are curated levels, and they'll have reworked versions of their iconic themes and their soundtracks and things, and there'll be a level themed around the world that character typically exists in, and those are really, really special.
Yeah, they really, really are. I think this is what Sony or PlayStation should be doing and everything. Like they've really got a cracking game here. They've got a great new mascot where they can push out into different, hopefully, what I would suggest, like the different aspects of different type of games for it and everything. And
I'm ready for Astro Kart. Give it to me. I will be world champion at Astro Kart. Give it to me.
Till I beat you.
You gotta think it's coming. Yeah, honestly, you gotta think that's probably coming. Before that.
Mm-hmm. Are we just following the Mario template? We're going to get Astro Tennis, Astro Kart.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah. Why the hell not? Let's go for it.
What other Mario games were there? Astro Party.
Golf, basketball, football, tennis.
Astro Strikers.
Olympics. They'll have to find another mascot instead of Sonic to do
Astro
the Olympic
and
versions.
Crash at the Olympic Games.
Yes!
There you go.
No, it's not owned by Microsoft now, Crash?
Who knows? Okay,
They
Astro.
might do, actually.
Astro and Sackboy at the Olympic Games.
There we
There
go.
you go. And then there won't be people asking, how does Sonic lose in a foot race to Mario? Because that's the one that got me.
Because he cheats, he puts the star on. You just don't realise he's flashing.
Because he's going too fast.
Cheat codes it. He cheat codes it.
You gotta go fast. But no, that's awesome. Have you had a chance to dip into any of the more challenging levels in Astro Bot?
No, not yet.
Okay.
And I probably won't, just so you know.
That's fair.
Not my type of thing. Yeah, I'll just my aim is just try and complete the game, do the main story, and then probably flog it off. Type of thing. But no, yeah, it is a cracking game. A game that I was like, yeah, it looks good and everything, but I'm just like, really? I have no interest in it at all until all the reviews dropped for it, and it was just like, what the fuck? And then when it all kicked off, I was just like, well, yeah, I won't lie, yeah, I think I said to you, like, this is a game kind of what I feel like it's just a game we kind of needed right now. For me, that I needed right now. Yeah, it's just been a joyous fun, and I'm looking forward to just cracking on more with it, and also cracking on with getting into Zelda and everything. So it's like, I've got like 3 games going on at once, because like I'm playing Pokemon White right now on this as well. So it's my go to bed game before I go to bed. Basically, I play it for like an hour and then just crack on and then go to bed, and it's
cool.
I've got a lot going on right now.
Yeah, so I highly recommend avoiding those challenge levels. So especially for me, my skill set or lack thereof, doing the platinum chase is no fun. There is some fun to be had in the challenge levels themselves, but as you progress through the game, they only get more and more frustrating. So your mileage may vary. So I would recommend just enjoying the story as you say. Whatever plan you have and you spoke about, just stick to that, my friend.
Are those the ones that are like the symbols on the controller
the
panel?
symbol ones, but then you also have kind of mini boss themed ones where it's like a crumble rumble, and you have to defeat people on a platform that falls from underneath you, and there's a pixel based one as well. Or I think they're based on voxels more than pixels, but it's more of a one of those themed. So those can be challenging, but the shape themed levels, those are the ones in particular I was talking about.
Like I don't care about trophies or anything like that, so I won't be chasing after that. I just crack on and just play the game and everything. And yeah, just have fun, and that's what I'm having, which is really good. Like at the end of the day, so it's a great game to what I've seen, to what I've played so far, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. Hopefully, I'll have my aim is, like I say, I've completed by the end of October. So by the time Amy gets down,
by the time Amy gets down, what he means is by the time Dragon Age comes out.
Yes, that's code for Dragon Age.
That's code for Dragon Age.
Life is Strange comes out. By the time Life is Strange comes out.
Life is Strange is Life is Strange is coming out next week, depending on who you ask.
Yeah, sure, yeah. Yeah, but no, Life is Strange for me is at the end of the month, and then basically if Boomerang don't screw me over,
that's a big F these days.
If Boomerang don't screw you over, I'm going to sue. Whether I sue them or I sue you, I'm not sure, but I'm suing someone.
Yeah. As long as I don't get screwed over by Boomerang, I'll get Life is Strange and try and smash through that before Dragon Age gets it.
Nice. I'm looking forward to Dragon Age.
Yeah, so am I.
Great stuff, everybody.
Cool, yeah. I stopped playing Astro. Like, I got to that point we talked about in the review when we reviewed it, Vitz, where I was like, I got to the point where I was like, I can't be bothered collecting all of the little robots anymore. And it's like, the way my brain works is like, I can't leave a level uncompleted. Like, and I mean, like everything. Like, I found all the bots and the portals.
Oh, yeah,
and stuff.
I was the same. Yeah.
So, like, I got to a point where I was like, I'm not having fun collecting these robots anymore. And I just went, I'm done.
That is a bit of a negative for me. It's just like, we've gone from, like, to unlock one world, you need 100 bots, to the next one where I'm at, I need 200. And I'm just like, oh my giddy aunt, man. And now I have to go all the way back and, like, recollect some of
robots.
That's kind of like really just annoying and everything. I'm almost got there, but it's just like that sometimes it's like can be annoying and everything, but I get it. It's how those type of games are and whatnot. But
thankfully the levels are short enough where it doesn't become too much of a pain. If they're mostly over like 5-10 minutes, that kind of thing. Less than that.
They can be over pretty quickly. Like if you know what you're doing, what you're doing. Like I did some of those challenge levels, and I think they were a large part in me just putting the game down. Like when I was getting to a certain point, I was just like, "What the fuck you expect me to do here?" Like I suck at these games as the best of times. Like
I got tilted by that very last one. In order to essentially like complete the game in order to get the platinum. So obviously, completing the game, just finishing the story is completely valid, and that's where people should leave it. In my estimation.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. Yeah.
All right.
So, Moody, you want to talk about football or something?
No, that's all right. We can do it next week.
No, that's fine. We've got time.
No, it's all right. I don't want it anymore.
He doesn't want to talk about football. All right, cool. In that case, we've done that. It's time for a little game we like to play around these parts called OpenCritic Head-To-Head. We've got a lot to talk about this week. I feel like we've already talked about half of it. This is the game we play every week where we try to guess the OpenCritic average of upcoming games. Whoever guesses closest to the score at the time of recording gets a point. If you manage to guess the score correctly, you get 2 points. Last week and the week before, whatever, we tried to guess the OpenCritic average of a bunch of games. Zoocosis doesn't have reviews, and at this point, I don't think it's going to get any. That game is not going down well with people.
It really isn't.
It's not doing well on Steam in the Steam reviews. It doesn't have any professional reviews from what I can see. So we've got our guesses on the board. I'll leave it on the document for a while in case it does start getting some reviews, but I don't think that's going to get us anywhere.
The thing is about it, that's not surprising that a game that's come out the same week as Silent Hill 2, Dragon Ball Spark and Zero, and Metaphor Fantasy. Metaphor. That's not surprising that there's no reviews for it. Yeah, even if it was a good game or not.
I saw a gameplay stream of this. It did not look great.
Yeah, no, like it got some positive previews, but it's like those haven't even translated into reviews. Never mind like positive reviews, they even translated in reviews at all. I just went on, and this is a game we didn't guess the OpenCritic average for, but I just went on OpenCritic just to see if it might have had some reviews. The Until Dawn remake isn't doing very well on OpenCritic, is it?
Oh yeah.
No,
it's on
it
68.
had a very,
Yeah,
very rough launch.
Apparently it's broken, isn't it?
Yes, more on PC more than on the PlayStation 5 port. But yeah,
What a surprise there. They may want to get the games on PC, but they don't port them very well.
It actually takes work. You don't just drag and drop the file.
Even on PS5, which is what I've seen to date, kind of thing is, some of the character models, there's a lot going on with their teeth, and then even just the way their limbs work, and the kind of the proportions of the character models, something is off. And but like the environments and whatnot, they look really, really good. But as I say, for the character models and things, the thing that you're paying attention to in this game, where you're trying to either save everybody or kill everybody off, or make sure that
save the cheerleader, save the world.
That's it. And then of course, Until Dawn, you've still got these characters making stupid ass decisions, but that's a whole gimmick of the genre that they're going for. So yeah,
I mean, it's a teen slasher game. It's like if you're mad at the game for that, you're playing the wrong game.
yeah, no doubt about that. Yeah. Apparently, there's a new ending. Like, apparently, so I'm just like, all right. But I'm not gonna lie. Like with everything that's going on with the game, I'm just like,
I don't think it's worth. £60.
Yeah, I don't think we'll get to it, Amy. I'm not gonna lie. We've got games we want to play and everything, and I think we just might put back.
This wasn't part of the £10 upgrade path on PlayStation to say if you have the original on like PS4, then you can just pay 10.
No.
That's what I'm saying. It's a wild decision that it isn't that when Horizon gets that and pretty much everything else does.
That's weird. Sony, I don't know if PlayStation have enough respect for Until Dawn.
There's a movie coming out, so I'm guessing they will do soon.
Personally, like I think it was Until Dawn when I played it the year it came out was a highlight for me on the year it came out. And like I think like it just got dropped like a rock by PlayStation. It's weird. They did two PlayStation games that came out in the same year, Bloodborne and Until Dawn.
Yeah,
both suffered similar fates. I feel.
Refuse to accept the existence of one of them. Yeah, for sure.
But let's get on to other games that we did guess the OpenCritic averages for. The first one up is Silent Hill 2, which Moody just reviewed. Moody guessed it would get a 70, Vitz guessed it would get a 75, Amy guessed it would get an 86, and Drew's shocked reactions from her co-host. At the time of recording, Silent Hill 2 has an OpenCritic average of 87, which means Amy gets a point. I'm sorry to say Moody gets a point.
I'm saying I owe
Moody
an apology.
First, so I should get the point now.
Have a bit more faith, maybe. And you would have got some points.
Not in Konami.
No, never have faith in Konami. Yeah, when the reviews dropped, I was like, thank God. Thank you, God. Not for this game or Fantasy Critic, just for the fact that it doesn't suck. Like, I'm just so glad it did. I couldn't live in that universe where the discourse was, well, Silent Hill 2 sucks. Like, thank God it's good.
The thing is about it, what I mean is like, there's not even like mixed reactions to it or anything like that. Like, I'm sure there's some people out there just think that the game didn't work for me type of thing. Yeah, but like overall, the consensus objectively, it's like, it's a good game. Well done.
It's good. I wonder if like the review scores got a slight bump from the surprise that it was good. Like, like everybody's like, "Oh, this is actually really good! Holy shit!"
Potentially, I won't lie. There, like I think it's a good game. Like it's a very good game and everything. But like, I don't know if we were doing scores and everything, I don't think I would have put it as high as some of the ones that have been out there and everything. But the scores are stupid anyway. So
scores are stupid.
Speaking of high scores. The next game.
We also tried to guess the OpenCritic average of Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. I guessed it would get a 71. Moody guessed it would get an 81. Vitz, you guessed it would get a 75. At the time of recording, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero has an OpenCritic average of 83, which means Moody gets the point. And I said in Discord, like when I posted the screenshot, I'm really happy I was wrong. Like about this game.
It did indeed have the juice.
It did indeed have the juice.
apparently there's like a really, really, really difficult part in the story. Which
Yeah,
is
like the
where you
publisher
fight
had to put
Vegeta, where you fight Vegeta when he's as an ape, and apparently that's really fucking difficult.
and the publisher would like put a message out saying, you know, it's okay to lower the difficulty down. It doesn't make you any less of a Super Saiyan or whatever it is.
That might be the greatest tweet we've had this year.
Didn't Bandai Namco do the same thing with Elden Ring earlier this year? It was like, you need to level up, guys. It's like 2024 is going to go down as the year like game publishers had to remind gamers that they could level up and lower the difficulty. That's cool. We also tried to guess the OpenCritic average of Metaphor ReFantazio. I guessed it would get a 92. Moody guessed it would get a 94. Vitz, you guessed it would get a 93. At the time of recording, Metaphor ReFantazio has an OpenCritic average of 92, which means Amy gets 2 points. Wasn't looking good for me.
Close on that one.
Wasn't looking good for me when the reviews first dropped.
95, I was like, cha-ching! And it dropped and I went, fuck! Who's the negative Nancy's out there? Where the fuck are you?
How dare you?
How dare you?
Only give this game a 9 out of 10, damn you.
I told you, if it ain't 10 out of 10, it's fucking useless, you bastards.
It's like, if you ain't first, you last. If it ain't 10, it's nothing.
It's nothing.
No, I'm super happy that this game's getting good reviews. Like, my mixed reactions to the demo aside, like, I'm looking forward to diving more into it, and I'm in the mood for like a big, chunky, long game right now.
Yeah, that's Dragon Age for me.
Yeah, which will and that's Dragon Age. But until then,
I ain't touching this. I won't lie. I was thinking about it, but I was just like, no.
You've only got one long game in you a year.
Really? Well, no. Yeah, I've kind of already.
Oh
done
no,
that.
yeah, sorry. Well, you fucked then. Yeah, you did like a dragon.
yeah, but that was at January.
Yeah,
I've took a break since then.
2 long games a year, as long as you space them out. One in the first half and one in the last half.
Yeah, basically that's what I'm doing. Dragon Age, baby.
Dragon Age and Like a Dragon, and both got dragon in the title. Interesting.
Interesting indeed. I like dragons. I like dragons.
But at least there'll actually be dragons in this one. So the scores as they stand at the moment: Amy is on 30, Moody is on 38, Vitz is on 20, and Draws is on 6.
Hey, you've got to be your own biggest cheerleader.
Moody has already won this game in like February. I signed that note on April 25th, 2024. And I stand by it all these months later. But we got some games to guess the OpenCritic averages of. The first one is a game I know you're both excited for. It's coming out next week, published by Devolver Digital. It's called Never.
Or as Michael Caine would say, never.
Never.
Never. I believe it's me to go first.
It sure is.
I think this game is going to get an 86.
So you thinking, would you say of it that it has
all the juice? Much juice.
That's juice, though.
It's juicy. It's a juicy game, would you say? I'm going
Oh, so it's your turn. Sorry, my apologies.
No, I'm next. Whoa. You hold yours, that's really. I'm going to go down.
The X's next to the name.
I'm going to go down from there. Yeah, thank you, Anonymous Kiwi. I'm going to go down to an 80. Down from where Vitz is. Higher or lower? That was a game show, I think, that we didn't make a legally distinct copy of this time.
To be fair, I did. It didn't work out in my playtesting. The fun couldn't be had. Yeah.
I look forward to seeing if you can refine it.
Yeah.
There's no doubt this game is looking gorgeous. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah. The game mode itself, for those who are curious, is called Roll Your Dice Right.
Nice.
82.
Plenty more fundraisers in our future. Nice. All right, 86 and 80 and an 82. The next game we're going to guess the OpenCritic average for Super Mario Party Jamboree. Before we do any guessing here, I asked my friend at Nintendo if this game's boards are online multiplayer enabled, and they are.
Nice. Now, Nintendo multiplayer especially online.
Look, right, I don't give a shit if it works well. Like it's there. Like they've learned to finally make the game multiplayer.
I think tomorrow's the day of recording. They are doing an online player test for something or other.
Yeah.
We'll figure out what that is.
Whether
they've just discovered online isn't just a fad and people actually want to play online with people, we'll find out. So Super Mario Party Jamboree is an interesting one because, for all intents and purposes, I don't believe the last iteration was well received.
Super Mario Party.
So I'm going to go with an 80, please.
I'm just looking it up because I know the Wii, the one on Wii U was terrible. I remember playing that one.
Yeah,
it was awful. Super Mario Party was the last one.
So yeah, we're gonna have 3 Mario Parties this generation on the Switch.
Or was it the last one? Super Mario Party was a 76 on.
There was Mario Party,
Superstars,
and then there was Super Mario Party, Super Mario Party Superstars, and now Super Mario Party Jamboree.
Interesting. Yeah, Mario Party Superstars got an 80. So, are they gonna go forward or backward? Because if they stay where they are, you've got the points. So I can't guess that. You know what? I'm gonna go with an 83.
Nice.
I have faith of the heart. It's a good game. Mario Party is a great game. People, you know what? Game reviewers, lighten up. There,
they might try, but they might try and play online with their friends, and it might not work.
Have more fun in your life.
I'll be the Grinch, 75.
It's the wrong one.
You might be the realist in this situation, Moody.
There's a fine line between being a Grinch and just being realistic. The next game we're going to guess the OpenCritic average for, Unknown 9 Awakening, which I learned existed last week, I think.
If there was ever a game that didn't have the juice, this is it. I think the talent behind the studio and the cast they've got assembled, I think is really, really good. Having said that, nobody knows about this game, and it seems to be coming out of the blue, even though I think there was a reveal at Summer Games Fest and around that time. I think it's going to get a 77, please.
77.
Yeah, Anya Cholta, I love your work, but I'm not sure this is the project that's going to rocket your career further.
Earn quest for in knowledge, but such power is not going noticed. I'm just reading the Steam store page. Master of the Fold. You know what it reminds me of? Looking at the gifs.
Game?
Yeah, I was gonna say Forspoken. It reminds me a little of Forspoken, and hey, I was the first one on board to say that I didn't particularly enjoy that game, but that everybody was being way too mean about it.
Yeah. I think there were other motivating factors as to why people were being mean about that particular game as well.
Yeah, man. Like, it just felt... That's what it felt like.
They had the audacity to put a person of colour in there, and they were a woman.
Yeah.
God, those bastards.
How dare this character talk exactly like Peter Parker in Spider-Man. Like,
yeah.
With all the dialogue of an MCU film. It's just like, what the fuck are you even talking about, you knob jockeys? I'm going to go with a 72.
Okay.
69.
Nice.
I want to be wrong. I want this to be a Dragon Ball Sparking Zero situation. I want to be wrong. I want this game to come out and be awesome, and everybody to be like, "Oh shit, I need to find time to play this between Map 4 and Dragon Age." And I've put this one up, even though it's not coming out for a few weeks officially, because the game is early access to the first two episodes starts next week, so you never know what's going to happen. If review embargoes are going to drop super early or whatever. But I've put up Life is Strange Double Exposure.
Right, okay.
Well, there's no doubt about it that the critics will probably have the game.
Potentially.
And I'd be very surprised if they only sent them the first 2 episodes.
As a former game critic, I don't know how surprised I would be if they didn't.
We'll see what happens.
Right, okay. So This is a tricky one. Having said that,
how much is Moody gonna be pissed?
yeah,
I don't give a fuck.
How much can I wind Moody up right now?
I am gonna go for an 83, please.
I know what you mean about it being a tricky one. Like, Life is Strange is a weird series when it comes to like critical reception and.
Yeah, it's critical reception versus how much people absolutely either rally or rally for this game or have nothing to do with it at all.
Yeah, because there's like, it's a weird, because like Life is Strange 1, like the very first one, like the open critic score for that game is like around an 81, and I was like, that game fucking slaps. Like, I don't know what the fuck you're all talking about.
Yeah.
So clearly, I'm not like in step with the critical reception of Life is Strange. Like, Life is Strange 2 dropped, and I'm pretty sure True Colors didn't set the world on fire according to game critics. It's like, it's always been around that point, and it's like, look, I love the first one. I love True Colors a lot. But I gotta take my Amy hat off with 5 Ys, and I gotta put on this what do the critics think? This is a face mask. I've repurposed it for my head.
Right.
It's now my critic's hat because I don't have any hats to hand. Well, actually, no. I suppose I could put this on my head. So this is my like, what are critics gonna think hat?
Amy, you've got a face hugger on your head. Get it off.
I know.
Now.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's a friend. Look, it's a friendly face hugger.
There's no such thing as a friendly face hugger.
Like, Life is Strange Double Exposure. I'm gonna say, I'm gonna just split it and go 80. There you go. Critic hat off, Amy hat back on. What did I miss?
Nothing.
Cool.
Moody is about to give their score.
100. Basically,
There's no,
180.
no, that'll only happen if Steph's in it, and I don't know if Steph's in it. So
We would, and it would only be 100 for both me and Amy.
yeah.
But let's just say, if it was the three main characters from True Colors, yeah, 100 easy. For Moody critical, but no,
I don't even play it. Game of the end.
Yeah, you don't have to play it. Yeah, easy 100. But no, the thing is, no, you're batting around where I'm thinking as well. I won't lie, you are batting where I'm thinking. I'm gonna go 81.
Nice.
Yeah, Life is Strange is a series I want to revisit at some point.
Yeah, when you have free time, whatever that is.
Well,
yeah,
no,
like
I just make
you've never
videos.
touched
That's what I do.
Yeah, you've never played season 2, I believe.
No.
And you never gave Tell Me Why. Tell Me Why, was it?
Yeah.
Tell Me Why that 3-episode game ago either. So yeah.
I mean, I'd try that. That would be separate from like a Life is Strange replay, but
like Before the Storm. I don't think you touched that one.
probably not. I was late to Life is Strange.
Yeah.
I picked it up at the Game Awards sale. I was watching Jeff Keighley's Game Awards.
Was this before he wasn't a dick?
No, he was always a dick.
But there was a time when that was the case.
He's always been a dick. But like, yeah, no, it came up with the thing of like, oh, there's games on sale for the Game Awards. I think it was the first year they did like sales on the storefronts, and I just happened to like click on the Xbox sale, and it was like Life is Strange was like £2 or whatever the fuck it was, and I was like, well, fuck it, for like a couple of quid, I'll buy that. And then I played it one day, and it was like, oh, it was amazing. Oh my god. I put it higher on my Game of the Year list than The Witcher 3, and I stand by that decision.
Wind's howling.
Wait, it came out the same year as Witcher 3?
Sure did. Came out the same. It came out that year I was just talking about with Bloodborne and Until Dawn and
2014?
2015.
Wow, what a year.
It's a good
What
year.
a year for video games that was, yeah.
It was a good year. Now I'm double checking to make sure that I'm actually telling the truth. Life is Strange release day. Because I almost bought it partway through. There was an E3 trailer that dropped, and it was that Sid Matters song. Yeah, it was 2015. And the whole thing came out in 1 year. And like there was a trailer with the Sid Matters song, American Girls, and like that trailer slapped so hard. And it was the thing of it's an episodic game. It was like only up to episode 2, I think, by the time summer rolled around. So I was like, I'll wait until the whole thing's out, and then I forgot about it, obviously. And then it just so happened to like be on sale, and I was like, oh yeah, that game looked really cool. It was really cool. And
oh yeah,
I'm gonna find that trailer and rewatch it and send it to you. But for now though, it's time for a certain member of this podcast to shine.
I've just seen on the games industry layoffs thing, Merge Games has been added to it.
Yay.
They don't have the number. Right. But anyway,
text them.
I just thought that was
tweet
weird
them.
when I saw that.
Yeah. Update that.
Hey everybody, today be proud. You made it. Another day's behind you, another week has passed. Want to know what else? You are absolutely the best. You are truly good enough. We all believe in you. One step at a time, one day at a time, one dream at a time. Now stand up and jump up and high five that sky because you made it and you are good enough. Live long and prosper.